Van harte welkom bij deze speciale uitzending van Christenen voor Israël. En als Christenen voor Israël besteden we uiteraard heel veel aandacht tijdens deze oorlog aan Israël en wat er daar aan de hand is. En vandaag hebben we in onze studio een speciale gast. En zijn naam is Yigal Ben Shalom. Yigal, welcome.
Thank you.
Yigal, you are a former director-generaal of the Ministry of Sociale Affairs and you are an expert on children at risk.
That's correct. That's my PhD.
Yeah, explain to me, what is your expertise?
Children at risk mean children that abandoned by their parents or wounded or mentally health and they have problems. So my research tells how you should restore their soul, how you should react to them, and if they are post-traumatic, I bring them back to a life. So that's my expertise.
Yeah, well, we will talk about the trauma that has happened in Israel on October 7th and up until today. Already a few weeks, Israel is in a very serious war with Hamas, and also the impact that it has specifically on children in Israel. Because can you explain me what the impact is of what happened on October 7th?
Absolutely. First of all, we are experiencing post-trauma. You know, when 5 wars that I was there as a major, as a officer. But I give you an example. Right now, there is a girl, 9 years old. She evacuated with her parents from the Negev to Eilat, and she refused to get out from under the bed. She is under the bed in the hotel. She doesn't want to go out. She don't believe. She doesn't believe her parents that it's safe there. That's an example. So what happens? This trauma goes with them for years, And we try now with psychologists and the right paying attention to them, right to tell them nice stories. And if they are very little, so we tell them that these bombs are like games or war games, whatever, but it's very hard. It takes them years until they try to go back to the reality. Right,
because this is one story of one girl who is very afraid and who had terrible experiences because of what Hamas did on October 7th. But it's only one, but there are thousands of girls and boys, and not only children, but also adults and elderly.
Yeah, we know about now, but for sure about 50,000 children all over the country in hotels, and they changed their place. They are moved from their original houses.
You mean that they are evacuated because of security reasons?
Yeah, they're evacuated for the securities in Eilat, in Jerusalem, and they can't go to the north. Now the north is very dangerous. So they left their dolls, the puppy. They left everything. They don't have even clothes for themselves because it was burned. You know, children saw their houses burned, and children, I know. 2 of them, one boy is 9 years old and his sister is 6 years old. They saw how the Hamas murdered their parents. And they were in the shelter room, parents died, and the boy called to emergency and asked them what should they do. And the emergency instructed him what to do. Shut the door, and then he was in the closet for 7 hours before the army came to save them. Yeah. That's one story. There's a lot of stories like that.
Yeah, but what is the impact on a country like Israel when thousands of children, adults, elderly people go through such a trauma?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very heavy. I know people. I know my family was there. The effect is they don't believe anybody. They don't believe a human being. They think that our government neglected them. They were not aware. And they now think that they have to protect themselves. For example, every woman in Israel, she applied for pistol. Every woman all over the country. Because there are rumors.
To be able to protect themselves.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They are in their home, their house all over Israel. They want to, so the trauma is for years. Maybe they don't feel it now, the next few months, because they are in shock. But within years, the trauma will live with them. They will live with the trauma for 20, 30 years, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Christians for Israel is helping a lot in giving emergency help in Israel, also through your organization.
Exactly.
Can you share what your organization helps, especially for the traumatized children?
Our organization exists for more than 50 years, and what we are doing now, we have decided to do something creative. What do I mean? Many good people, including Christian for Israel and other NGOs in Israel, they send a lot of food to the parents, to the children. Many of this food is junk food. I would like to protect these children from diabetes. So what I'm doing, I'm a chairman of Association for Society and Culture, and also I'm a chairman, expert of an NGO that expertise in how to prevent diabetes and give a healthful way of living. So we have invented a game, escape games, that when the children play with this game, they know and we assimilate to them how to prevent from junk food. And they play with their parents, with their friends, and understand how to prevent junk food. And they ask their parents, we would like the game, healthy food. That's what we are doing. And I have here very close friends, businessmen, and they donate for this purpose, and also Christians for Israel. They donate the whole year, but this time they donate for this very important purpose, because you prevent diabetes from children.
Yes. And how is this helping the children also in coping with the trauma that they went through? Okay,
that's it. Because when they watch TV, they see all the horrors and all the shows of what happened there. So they need some new play that they don't acquaint with, and they are happy to try it. So this helps them to forget about what's happening.
It's also distracting them from the
distracting
reality.
From the happening.
Right.
And you know, it's something new, and they're very happy to play, and these group plays, and sometimes with their parents, sometimes with their friends. So that's the reason that distract them from the trauma for that time. For hours they can play with it.
Yeah. How many children are we talking about that are being helped by your organization?
Right now, we're talking about 15,000 children only in Eilat. But there are a few thousands more in Jerusalem or whatever. So I intend to bring those games or creative games to the children in Eilat and maybe also in Jerusalem. And the donation will help to do that, of course.
Just an honest question. Israel is completely in war right now, in war modus. There are many people going to the army, many people fighting, people dying on both sides. So how do you find the time to do such a thing for children, distracting them? Is that the thing we should be focusing on right now?
I tell you the truth. My son is in the army. He's in the front. I have many sons of my friends. They are also in the army.
Yes.
All my life I used to be in the army. I fought all the wars of Israel since 6-day war and Yom Kippur war. I was in the Golan Heights and Egypt. For me, it's very difficult to stay home while all these soldiers in the front. So I've decided to do something that I can do. I'm 76 old. The army don't want my experience anymore. So I can't stay home while my son is in dangerous. I have decided, it's a decision of few hours. What you do? Okay, go refresh yourself, go to your friends in the Netherlands and try to collect money for this purpose. That was the decision, and I'm glad that I did it. And Monday I'm going back to Israel
to continue the work.
And doing the work.
Let's talk about your personal story, because how did you wake up on October 7th and you heard about all the news coming in?
I didn't wake up. I was in the synagogue. It was the holiday for Simchat Torah. It is the joyness of the Torah. It's a day of joyness. So we were in the synagogue and we have heard the siren. So we thought, rockets, another rockets. And we continue to to pray to Darwin. And then I told my colleagues, we should open the iPhone to hear what's on. They said,
because
no.
you usually don't do that on Shabbat.
No, not at all.
No.
And we don't have it at the shul, at the synagogue. Mm-hmm. But one of the guys that always bring in for emergency, he works for emergency NGO.
Yes.
So I told him, open the phone. He said, no, I don't. It's Shabbat. I said, forget Shabbat, open. He didn't want to open. Then we have heard a bomb, and it was a rocket in the center. I live in Mevaseret Zion. In the center of Mevaseret Zion, there was a bomb, like 400 from our synagogue.
Yeah.
So I told him, now open. Then he opened it. He opened the phone, and we were shocked. We wouldn't believe. They said that Hamas arrived in Sderot, arrived in the kibbutzim, in my sister's moshav, Ena Besor. I would believe that. And then we continue to pray very quick, and I ran home under rockets all over the place. So that's I revealed it. And then I opened the TV, and I saw, believe me, I am very experienced in wars. Mm-hmm. This type of war is the first time, and I recognize it as a continuance of the independence war of 1948. You know why? Because it's a war against citizens, not against soldiers. When I faced the Syrian soldier, Egyptian soldier, I was not afraid, you know, soldiers against soldiers.
Army against army. Yeah.
Army against army, okay, that's fair, so-called. They slaughter horrible children, burn them. I know that everybody know, but they don't know. I don't agree with the Israeli system that say they don't want to show this hard picture. You know that now we cannot identify the babies because they burn parents and babies together. We have 200 and more people that we don't know who are they.
No.
And we never know because they were burned. So this is different, difficult, and I was shocked.
Yeah, but what about your sister? You say that she lives in a moshav very close to Gaza?
My sister lives in a moshav very close to Gaza. And for my sister and her family is the second trauma because they were in Sinai, in Yamit and Sadot, when they evacuated from there after Yom Kippur War, and they went and they built a new moshav, a new settlement near Gaza Strip because they believed, okay, no more war.
Yeah.
So they woke up in the morning and they have heard shooting, and they saw a vehicle with many terrorists. So they were lucky. I tell you why. A few months before that, there were Bedouin that theft their vehicles.
So they were stealing the vehicles.
Yeah, they were stealing the vehicles. So they've decided to take the alertness class that has to protect them. Yeah. Instead of 12 members, they have now 70 members because of the stealing.
Yes.
So when they have heard the first shooting, all 70 people, they are in reserve service or whatever, they were around their moshav, they protected their houses, and 2 minutes before they arrived, they closed the gate. So they killed the terrorists, saved themselves, and the terrorists moved on to the other kibbutzim. Wow. This is the only moshav that succeeded by chance, you know, because of the Bedouin were stealing, so they...
Therefore, they had more guards to protect them.
That's the story
and that's
of my
how your
sister.
sister survived.
And my sister now, she has a family and grandchildren, all of them now in Eilat, trying to restore, trying to do, and she is very active there to help children, whatever, and I'm going to help them by this creative game. That's my sister.
Yeah. And what about, do you know any people that were killed or were abducted in October 7th?
It's very heavy. I know many. I just want to tell you a story of 2 very, very good friends of my friends, and one girl. 2 of them regular army service, but they went to the party in Kibbutz Re'im. 3,000 of their friends, they were in the party, and they were very happy and danced and whatever. All of a sudden, Shabbat morning, they have heard rockets. So, okay, rockets, let's move to other place because rocket. And then they saw the vehicles came and brutally made horror, and they started to shoot to everywhere.
People, yeah.
So these two boys, without any weapon, they took some girls and put it in a shelter there in the field and protected them with empty hands. So the terrorists threw on them the grenade, and they threw it back until they shot one of them, and they killed, but he saved the girls. The other one that I know, he went to the kibbutz to protect himself, and there were the terrorists. So he entered to a house, and with empty hands, with a friend with a rifle, he protected the inhabitants of this house until they all saved through the roof, and he had been killed, murdered.
Yeah.
I went to his father was a general in the army, very brave. He went all the way to bring his body, same day. And a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
And girls, you know, she was a major in the army. She also, on duty in Kfar Aza kibbutz, she protected with her girl soldiers the kibbutz, and she was killed after she protected them. They're from our neighborhood, from Mevaseret Zion. I know her.
Yeah. You tell me you have fought in many wars throughout the history of Israel. The 6-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, the Lebanon War. But then this is happening. In what way is it different than all the other wars that you have been through?
I tell you the difference, major difference. First war, 6-Day War, as I was a young officer, we fought against Egypt. We were waiting. We prepared ourselves for 2 weeks before Nasser. He make a closure on us, and we fought. We won, and it was great. And I was there, and we saw all the Egyptian soldiers without shoes ran away. That's 6-Day War. 6 days, 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah.
Then was the Yom Kippur War. Yom Kippur War, as I was.
Exactly 50 years ago, huh? Exactly 50 years.
Yom Kippur, I was in the synagogue, 2 o'clock, sirens. I went home, took my my uniform, and went to the war. I didn't know what's happening. I was commander, head of a platoon, and we went to the Golan, and we started with my soldiers to to climb through Engave to the Golan Heights. We thought that we'll see the war, far away. And all of a sudden we saw the Syrian tanks and soldiers just above the Kinneret. They could go down to the river. Almighty didn't let them to go down, and we started to fight with them. I left in my house my wife and 2 months old my elder son. 2 months old, the first one.
Yeah.
So after a few nights of war that I didn't sleep, I've decided to write him as a letter, and I told him, Segev, my son, it's a very, very heavy war here. I was wounded, and I think, before that I was wounded, I hope and I pray for Almighty that when you are my age, no more war, you will not suffer from wars. It's written, and I sent it to him. Now, and then I was in the first Lebanon war, also very dangerous. Yeah. Now what I'm doing, my son, Segev, he's 50 years old, like the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah.
He's in the front, in the war. I told myself, what kind of prophet I was. False. I promised him no war.
There's no peace now.
No peace. So what I've done, I took, I'm head of association that help people. So last week, I took for all of his soldiers, friends, a Yemenite meal, which is the best meals all over, tasty, whatever, and a band of singers and players, went to his place, to his camp, and first of all, they ate very good food, and then we played for them. After 2 weeks, they were fresh. They thought, wow, we were very, very stressed. Now they opened. And
they could relax,
And I came and made this speech. I told, you see my son, Segev? I thought that it was last war. And now we are 7th generation. The grandmother of my mother came to Israel from Yemen. And I have now a newborn granddaughter. So what I should tell my granddaughter, should I promise her? I don't dare to promise her. No. I don't know what the future brings to Israel. It's 150 years of war. I'm afraid it will continue like that.
Yeah, let's talk about the hostages, but still, because still now there is over 200 hostages being held in Gaza, abducted by the Hamas. What efforts is Israel trying to do to liberate them? Okay,
first of all, we are all unified behind this hostage. It's not one, not two, three. They are citizens.
We have a few of the pictures that we have here in the studio.
Old age people, infants, babies. You have to birth them, you know.
Yeah.
So first of all, we are behind them. Secondly, we think what could we do? Go and attack and enter and penetrate and to Gaza Strip, or first try to release them. And what we are worried about, now we see the signs that maybe it's very, very frustrating. We were afraid that again there will be discrimination and distinguish between the Israelis hostage and foreigner hostage. And the world will say, okay, first we'll have a negotiation with Hamas through Qatar to get out, release the foreigners, and leave there the Israelis like Shalit for years. We are worried about this because we are working with the states, United States, Europe, whatever, and we are worried about it. And my mother, of all worried, she watched the TV all the time. She's crying, and she told me, she came to Israel in 1930, 6-year-old. She told me, my son, Yigal, I never saw things like that.
No.
Since I came to Israel.
And she has lived in Israel the whole history of
Israel. Whole history, she knows. She was volunteer at the Independence War. She was a nurse there, she knows. She experienced all the wars through me, through myself. She was worried about me, 6-day war, whatever, worried.
But this she never experienced.
She said, such an experience, she never experienced.
So how do you...
She's crying all the day.
Yeah. How do you keep hope in those difficult days? You?
Okay, I'm very strong outside, very sensitive inside. So I tell to myself, you must be strong because your family, your friends, everybody look at you. You must be strong. So I convince myself that for this time, full of hope. I hope that like in the history, Jewish nation suffered from the crusade, suffered from the Romans, suffered and survived. So I believe it is our spirit, our belief in Almighty, and I hope our leaders and our soldiers and the population, we shall win, we shall have the victory, and we shall, I hope, see a different Israel.
Yeah.
Different Israel after 7th of October than 6th of October. No internal dispute, not doing, coalition, opposition, religious, no religious.
More unity.
Like now.
Yeah.
Why unit Israel Day? I hope that gives me strength.
Does your faith in God help you also in coping with everything that is going on now?
Absolutely. My faith in God says to me from I was a child, there are some events in life that you don't understand. Why you don't understand? It's the creation of Almighty. So if you don't understand, you pray, you trust, He knows what He is doing.
What do you pray for? What do you pray for?
I pray for saving the hostage, saving the people of Israel, saving our faith, and encourage us to be unified for the rest of the years coming, and I hope and save God our soldiers and bring back home all the stories. I know as an officer that if I hope that we do that, we attack them, many soldiers will be killed. I know.
Yeah.
But I think that I pray this sacrifice will prevent in the future more and more citizens and soldiers that might be killed.
Yeah, I have one last question for you, because many people all around the world are watching this interview. We have a message for them. What can we do for Israel now? What is important?
My message, please, believe what Israel says. Believe that when we say that we didn't bomb any hospital, believe that, because don't believe to a false news. And we ask you to help Israel, first of all, by belief. Believe that we have to survive. Second, believe we are the only democratic country among us many non-democratic dictatorial Arab countries, 22 Arabs. We are the only country. This is the state of the Jewish people. So believe that you have to help us. Help us by belief, by support, by telling the truth, and by shipping to us, I think, money and to win and ship money for clothes for those children. That's what you can do for us. We don't ask you to come and fight for us. We ask you to support us because our economy is going down. We were very successful economy. Now, because the war was going down, we need your assistance.
So the support is needed. Thank you very much, Yigal Ben Shalom. En u thuis natuurlijk ook bedankt voor het kijken naar deze uitzending van Christenen voor Israël. En wilt u op de hoogte gehouden worden over het nieuws in Israël, dan kunt u terecht uiteraard bij onze uitzendingen zoals we die regelmatig publiceren op ons YouTube-kanaal van Christenen voor Israël. U kunt ook op onze website kijken, cvi.nl/actueel. Daar houden we sinds het begin van de oorlog een live blog bij met actuele informatie, met gebedspunten en ook manieren waarop u betrokken kunt zijn. U kunt natuurlijk betrokken zijn in gebed. U kunt ook onze projecten in Israël financieel steunen. En een van die projecten is het project van Yigal, waar hij zojuist over heeft verteld. Ga naar onze website cvi.nl/noodfonds. En daar ziet u een overzicht van de projecten die wij ondersteunen. En daar kunt u ook aan meedoen. Alvast heel hartelijk dank. Ook bedankt voor het kijken en graag tot de volgende keer.